Hi everyone, it's Christine, and I wanted to just give you an update on my Project Christine. It's been a productive week. I first started by working on my finances. I'm making it a point to work on myself every single day, no matter how small the project is, doing something for myself so that I chip away at everything that I want to do. So I first started with my finances because it's something that I've kind of pushed away to the side. I wanted to know exactly where I stood. So I went through all my finances and figured out all the income coming in from the household, all the expenses going out so that we can see what the cash flow situation is, taking into account all the loans and, you know, all payments, everything. And this is something that probably most people do. I used to do it, but somehow when you start to get more and more things on your plate, it starts to become a lot more to manage. Then I also took into account my assets and liabilities so we can see exactly how much I owe total balance. So this gave me a very clear picture of where I stood so that I could start to really focus my energy on clearing up this aspect of my life. And it was more liberating than it sounds. Just knowing exactly where you are and being able to face it without any sort of trauma or guilt or any sort of burden. Just knowing that it will be taken care of in its right time, and I'm just working on it. So, figuring out how much money to allot towards potential a wealth account, which means an account where you can start using that money to invest in something. So having some account where you can have your money grow. So that was one night's work, and then I spent this week cleaning my apartment, cleaning up the energy. There's a lot of things to sift through, a lot of things to get rid of. I organized my clothes, started trying to pick out all the things that I need to donate and really don't serve me, the things that I don't love to wear. Let's start putting them away and replacing them with things that I actually love. And I don't know why some things I've held on to, like things I bought on sale that I really don't like. And they're functional and I've worn them, but every time I wear them, it's kind of like, I wish I didn't have to wear this, but everything's in the laundry or something like that. But no more excuses. I'm cleaning my life. And you may have also noticed I also got a haircut and a new perm. It needed updating. It was getting unruly. So freshen that up a bit. And I also, today with my husband, we organized the furniture in our apartment. It was feeling, there's an area of my apartment that we actually hardly ever use, which is the sofa, which is where most people spend their time. But since we actually don't have a TV anymore, since we didn't have the space for it, we left it in our old home and came here without a TV. And then we decided to just live without the TV for a year or so until we found a bigger place. But or was able to clean up some of the stuff and sell all our books so that we could actually have a TV instead of bookcases. I know we shouldn't watch that much TV, but occasionally there are some Oprah shows and things like that that I like to record. So instead of not using this space, I felt like I should rearrange the furniture. So we rearranged the furniture so that it was actually more conducive, so the energy would flow, so that the furniture wasn't so packed together, that there's a little bit more space. And it just took a little bit of a different layout and some creative thinking. And we actually now made space for another area where we could actually put a little desk. So we're thinking of getting like a actual workstation with the computer so that it's not always on our dining table. So that is exciting. We're gonna utilize our space better, which is always important. That's usually an area of your life that might be stuck if you're not using certain aspects of your home. So take a look at that and see how you can utilize your home better. I also wrote in my journal after I did a coaching call with coaching program that I've enrolled in, I decided to write in my journal. I really, really, really wanted to figure out what my career was going to look like. I know that I'm not going to do a traditional career path where I'm going to be a traditional fashion designer. I am going to be a fashion designer, but I'm also really interested in the nutritional counseling, holistic health counseling program. So I didn't really know how those two things would fit in. I spent a lot of time, sorry, that's my dog, spent a lot of time meditating on it and writing my journal for like 12 hours one day. I mean, it took me till the wee hours in the morning, but I was really in the flow and I didn't want to stop. And I learned a lot about myself and how everything could come together. And it was like another aha moment for me. More layers are being revealed to me as I am preparing for that. That was exciting. So I realized that I can do both. I don't always have to choose because everyone's telling me you have to choose. But you know, we're in a new world, new economy, new life. Everything's going to be different from now on. So we can have what we want and create that life that we want. I want balance. I want to be able to be home for my family. There's so many things that I'm trying to make work, and it's really hard to have that work-life balance, but I'm going to figure out a way. So it's exciting. I'll reveal more as things progress. But it was another thing that happened was that the thing that I wasn't sure was going to be able to happen is how the financing was going to work for a fashion design career, especially if I try to create my own line once I'm done with school. It takes quite a bit of capital to start a fashion design company, especially with all the manufacturing facilities and everything in the whole supply chain that you have to set up. It's quite a bit of work, especially if you want to get out of just making things one by one by yourself. You have to really plan all that out, and that takes a lot of money. So I wasn't really sure how that was going to happen, but I went to a party that my friend invited me to from school, and it turns out that she has funding and she wants to invest in some of her classmates. We're all designers, and she sees potential in somehow collaborating to create something, and she has the funding. So she's just looking for people who are really, really passionate about what they do and could come together as a little community and create something together. So that was really interesting. It really made me realize that I just need to keep doing what I'm doing and not worry about all the little details. Just get clear on what I want and really just keep on going. The next step, this week I didn't really have a whole lot of time to focus on cooking and fitness, but that's my next step. I have gotten enough rest, so that was good. The other thing I really need to focus on is being early to everything. I need to somehow switch my clock so that I'm, like, leave half an hour earlier out the door. That's another story. So hopefully that will get fixed, and hope all of you guys are doing well on your projects, and hope you are treating yourself with a lot of love. Don't expect so much. Just do it because it's fun and enjoy yourself in the process. It should be a fun experience, and every step of the way should make you feel better and better as you progress. So sending you guys lots of love, and hope to hear some of your stories soon. Okay, bye.